everyone. Wow, what is that? It's the organ? Wow, Brock, way to make an entrance this morning. Good morning, everyone, and welcome to the First Universalist Church of Rochester, where we are called to nurture the Spirit and to serve the community. Our prelude this morning is a bit different. It's going to be a hymn, because Brock and I could not decide on just 2 hymns, 3 hymns to sing today. We needed 4. So this morning, as we gather to remember our loved ones who have died over the course of the past year and over the course of our lifetimes, we will open our service with singing hymn number, is it 103? Where's the number? Yeah, 103, For All the Saints. Please rise in body or in spirit and join us in singing. I swear we just had this thing tuned. Oh, is that the issue? All right. Beautiful. Please be seated.
Good morning. I'm Maddie Russell, Congregational Life Coordinator, and it is my pleasure to welcome you to this service at the First Universalist Church of Rochester. If you are here for the first time this morning, we especially welcome you. Thank you for making it to our worshiping community. Please remain for coffee hour after the service for connection and fellowship. There is a visitor's form that can be found on the back of your order of service or by clicking the link in the chat. Please fill this out so we can offer you a welcome beyond what we can offer you here on a Sunday morning. If you are looking to be part of our welcoming ministry at First Universalist, please sign up to offer coffee hour. Partnering with others is encouraged. Today marks First Universalist's annual Remembrance Sunday, a service set aside for communal grieving and remembering. We are all invited throughout today's service to honor the names of those we are remembering. For folks joining online, please feel free to get the names of loved ones into the chat. For folks joining in person, you should have received leaves, and there are also some in your pews. At any time throughout today's service, you're invited to come forward to place a leaf with a name or drawing of remembrance onto our shared altars in the front and back of the sanctuary. Please feel free to use as many leaves as you'd like. Following today's service, members of our caring committee will be present to offer a listening presence. If we could get Donna, Paula, Kathy, and Eileen to please raise their hands. If you'd like someone to speak with after the service, please feel free to talk to one of these folks. Before we take a moment to turn to our neighbor, let's take a moment to turn towards the camera and greet our online worshiping community with a wave. And if you are online, please feel free to pop into the chat and offer a greeting. If you are here at First Universalist this morning, let us take a moment to turn to our neighbor and offer a greeting as well.
All right, y'all, let us sing, let us sing, let us sing again, because we are going to sing a lot this morning, thankfully. Brock is now back where it's safe by the piano, and we're going to be, all right, thank you. Yeah, I know, I'm not going to curse the piano, oh gosh. Some way that our ancestors are still speaking, I don't know how. So please join us and rise in body or in spirit. We're going to sing hymn number 1051, We Are, a song that reminds us that our ancestors are in us, with us still.
We are
Beautiful. Please be seated.
Good morning. The theme for today's service is remembrance. Often grief is a part of remembrance. In 2010, G. Snow wrote an essay entitled Shipwrecked. He was a teacher who wrote this in response to a 17-year-old student dealing with the grief of losing a friend. It's mostly verbatim, but I've added a few personal touches. As for grief, you'll find it comes in waves and sometimes feels like anxiety or even post-traumatic stress disorder. When the ship is first wrecked, you're drowning with wreckage all around you. Everything floating around you reminds you of the beauty and the magnificence of the ship that was and is no more. And all you can do is float. You find some piece of the wreckage and you hang on for a while. Maybe it's some physical thing. Maybe it's a happy memory or a photograph. Maybe it's a person who is also floating. For a while, all you can do is float. Stay alive. In the beginning, the waves are 100 feet tall and crash over you without mercy. They come 10 seconds apart and don't even give you time to catch your breath. All you can do is hang on and float. After a while, maybe weeks, maybe months, you'll find the waves are still 100 feet tall, but they come further apart. When they come, they still crash all over you and wipe you out. But in between, you can breathe. You can function. You never know what's going to trigger the grief. It might be a song, a picture, a street intersection, the smell of a cup of coffee. It can be just about anything, and the wave comes crashing. But in between waves, there is life. Somewhere down the line, and it's different for everybody, you find that the waves are only 80 feet tall or 50 feet tall. And while they still come, they come further apart. You can see them coming, an anniversary, a birthday, or Christmas. For me, a wave came in 1999, 1 year after my mother died. Just before Mother's Day, I went to Wegmans to buy a card for my wife. And I saw the cards available to give to one's own mother, and it hit me. I will never pick out another card like that. I started crying right in the middle of Wegmans. Often you can see it coming and prepare yourself. And when it washes over you, you know that somehow you will again come out the other side. Soaking wet, sputtering, still hanging on to some tiny piece of the wreckage, but you'll come out. The waves never stop coming, and somehow you don't really want them to. But you learn that you'll survive them, and other waves will come, and you'll survive them too. If you're lucky, you'll have lots of scars from lots of loves and lots of shipwrecks. Come, let us worship together. As Jerry Ann Barnes and Diana Fox come forward to light our chalice at First Universalist, and you light a chalice in your own homes, please join me in our chalice lighting words spoken in unison. May we be a people of welcome, here to grow in heart and mind and spirit, and may we reach out to serve our community.
Jerry Ann and Diana, would you please come up here too? And Elizabeth and Ed, would you join us? So glad you are here. So glad you're here. This morning in our congregation, as we have been already, we will be sharing a bunch in singing out the lineage of this place. And a few members of First Universalist, as well as myself, wanted to sing out one name in particular this morning, Larry Barnes. Over the course of a couple of decades, Larry led a team of folks here who stewarded major renovations of this building. He served as clerk of the works, which I think is a really snappy title, in both the 1990s and the 2000s, holding the charge of both external and internal renovations. And it is safe to say that we would not have the space we have here today without Larry. I want to speak of his accomplishments for a moment, but quite frankly, all of this truly does not account for the ways that Larry was present in this church community. For his listening presence, the engaging conversation during coffee hour, his challenging intellect, the many, many, many relationships he had here. Upon learning about Larry's death this year, a couple of members of First Universalist knew it would be important for him to be honored and to be remembered here with a plaque. And so we dedicate this plaque to Larry's memory. And we are grateful to be able to present this plaque to you both, to Jerry Ann, his wife, and Diana, his beloved daughter. We present this with deep, deep gratitude for his service, for his impact on this community, for his presence here with us, for all that you both did, Larry and Jerry Ann. We just offer this small gift of appreciation this morning. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. We love you so much, and we really miss him along with you. Thank you. And so Elizabeth is here, who brought forward the idea for the plaque, and Ed representing our house committee. And thank you all so much for making this possible this morning. Yeah, thank you. Beloveds, I don't know, can you feel the love in this room right now? Because I can. I hope you can. As we prepare for our offering and as we continue to just hold one another today, we need the reminder that what we need is here. And so please join us in singing our sung offering, What We Need Is Here. One more round. What we need is here. What we need is here.
First Universalist Church provides support all year, not just on this Remembrance Day, for members who have experienced the death of a loved one or those dealing with any other challenges. Our church is generous in so many ways, but right now I'm asking you for another form of generosity, that of giving what you can to keep our compassionate church moving forward. Please place your offering in the offering basket or give online by scanning the QR code on the back of your order of service. For folks online, please click the link in the chat to give to First Universalist Church. Thank you for your generosity. This morning's offering will now be gratefully received.
invite forward our littlest members if they would like to see the pictures up here, or you can just watch from where you are with your caretakers, guardians, beloved parents. So today's book, I love learning about things from my kids. So Walter brought this home one day from school last year, and it's called Alma and How She Got Her Name by Juana Martinez Neal. Alma Sofia Esperanza Jose Pura Candela had a long name. Too long, if you asked her. My name is so long, Daddy, it never fits, Alma said. Come here, he said. Let me tell you the story of your name. Then you decide if it fits. Sophia was your grandmother, he began. She loved books, poetry, jasmine flowers, and of course, me. She was the one who taught me how to read. I love books and flowers, and you too, Daddy. I am Sophia. Esperanza was your great-grandmother, he continued. She hoped to travel, but never left the city where she was born. Her only son grew up to cross the 7 seas. Wherever her sailor son went, so did Esperanza's heart. And she has a collection of keepsakes all around her, that her son maybe brought her back from all around the world. The world is so big. I want to go see it, Daddy. You and me together. I am Esperanza. Jose was my father, Alma's daddy said. He was an artist with a big family, like many people had back then. Early each morning, he walked to the mountains and the plazas to paint everyday life. Sometimes I went along. Your grandfather taught me to see and to love our people. I love how in this picture he's kind of frowning, but like the real memory of him as a person, he's smiling. I wake up early every day, and I draw a lot too. This morning I drew a kitty cat for you, Daddy. I am Jose. Pura was your great aunt. She believed that the spirits of our ancestors are always with us, watching over us. When you were born, she tied a red string around your wrist, a charm to keep you safe. Hello, Pura. It's me, Alma. Candela was your other grandmother. She always stood up for what was right. I am Candela. And there's little keepsakes representing each of those ancestors around her now. I love the story of my name. Now, tell me about Alma, Daddy. Where does that come from? I picked the name Alma just for you. You are the first and the only Alma. You will make your own story. Alma Sofia Esperanza Jose Pura Candela. That's my name, and it fits me just right. I am Alma, and I have a story to tell. Now, some of you might be named after a beloved ancestor, like Alma was, and maybe not. Maybe you still have a story to tell, or maybe family members tell you, oh, you smile just like Aunt Cindy, or you laugh just like your father, or you have that same sense of humor like Uncle Joe. So today especially, to consider all the ancestors for whom you are the legacy, whether it's the name or the humor or the kindness or your love. Be proud of all that you carry with you and pass it on. Thank you. I know you are going to do joys and sorrows here, and I invite our little ones, if they want to stay down here or if they want to come do joys and sorrows for children's worship upstairs.
Thank you so much, Reverend Michelle. And thanks to our fantastic kids. I want to invite you into this time, this reverent time, of sharing the joys and the sorrows of our gathered community. If you would like to, you can place a hand over your heart to be able to listen from a heart-centered place, no matter where you are, whether you are joining us from your home or on a trip, or if you're right here in this sanctuary. Heart to heart, we remain connected. As Bill places stones into a bowl, I will read aloud the joys and the sorrows of our gathered community, and all online are also invited to share your joys and your sorrows in the chat, and I will do my best to read them aloud. So this morning we share a joy from Richard Reed. It was an inspiring day yesterday at the annual New York State Convention of Universalists gathering in Amherst. Proud to be a Universalist. We share, I believe a sorrow from Lisa Barr. My sister's husband's companion cat, Tango, joined her husband, T. Asher Morris, this week. Asher died after a long illness earlier this year. We have a sorrow also from Deb Barr. Asher departed in January. He said he would stick around for my birthday. I told him at 2 a.m., January 29th, he had seen my 70th, he was free, and he left 30 minutes later. Holding you, Lisa and Deb, in our hearts this morning. We share a joy from Marty Eggers. Thanks to some wonderful volunteers, we were able to open our restrooms, yet again, to grateful folks for the Reach fundraiser in the park across the street. Fantastic organization doing work with houselessness advocacy here in Rochester, one of our partners. We share a joy this morning from John Lukes, and I'm imagining also from Carol. We were able to vote early yesterday. And we recognize this morning that each one of us comes in here with joys and sorrows in the silent sanctuaries of our hearts. We are all holding something here. And so Bill will drop one final stone into the bowl to represent all of the joys and the sorrows held in the silent sanctuaries of our own hearts. May all be held in the heart of love this morning. As we have each Sunday for about the past year, we hold this morning that we are a church that is worshiping in a time of war. We acknowledge the wars and the conflicts that are happening in Israel, Palestine, Lebanon, Ukraine, the Congo, and Sudan. We acknowledge that there are more conflicts and wars happening that we are not even aware of, and we earnestly pray this morning and act for these wars to cease. As we are holding so much grief this morning, we light a white candle to acknowledge the grief felt in these times due to lives lost, due to homes lost, due to ways, practices, ways of being lost. We hold so many losses over the course of this past week, especially the loss that comes from displacement, and we connect our griefs, the griefs of our own hearts, with those who are experiencing the direct impacts of these losses due to war and conflict. We also light a yellow candle to connect the joys felt here to the tenaciousness and the beauty of the human spirit, to the practices that still sustain those directly impacted by war and conflict, to the birthdays celebrated, the weddings still happening, the childbirths still happening. We connect our joys to the joys of those in these places and beyond, recognizing that it is still a part of life and living, that grief and sadness is not the only story. We will hold a brief moment of silence to honor the many deaths that have happened this past week due to wars across our world. Let us hold this silence together. Amen. Blessed be, and may it be so. This morning, it is our tradition to sing out the names of those who we know who have died this past year, those who are connected to this community. And so I want to invite forward Anne and Ed to sing our litany this morning.
Anderson,
you are not forgotten.
T. Arnold,
you are not forgotten.
Norma Bay,
you are not forgotten.
Larry Barr,
you are not forgotten.
Ben Bow,
you are not forgotten.
You
are not forgotten.
Sandy Bingham,
you are not forgotten.
Shannon Boswell,
you are not forgotten.
Terry Brayman,
you are not forgotten.
Diamond Pigman,
you are not forgotten.
Monique Bro,
you are not forgotten.
Star Brown,
you are not forgotten.
Mary Carroll Town,
you are not forgotten.
Worth Cameron,
you are not forgotten.
Yellow Claw,
you are not forgotten.
Honey Daniel,
you are not forgotten.
Margaret Dawson,
you are not forgotten.
Possum,
you are not forgotten.
Joseph Flaherty,
You are not forgotten.
Alex Bo Taylor Franco,
You are not forgotten.
Africa Perila Garcia,
You are not forgotten.
Michael Gill,
You are not forgotten.
Rivenavia Goddard,
You are not forgotten.
Dan Grizzly,
You are not forgotten.
Dylan Gurley,
You are not forgotten.
Paul Held Jr.,
You are not forgotten.
Michelle Henry,
You are not forgotten.
Reina Hernandez,
You are not forgotten.
Righteous Torrance T.K. Hill,
You are not forgotten.
Stephen M. Jacobstein,
You are not forgotten.
Jaslyn Johnson,
You are not forgotten.
Randy Keller,
You are not forgotten.
Barbara Lamb,
You are not forgotten.
Davion Lathan,
You are not forgotten.
Howard Lavelle,
You are not forgotten.
Holy Lycan,
You are not forgotten.
Ted McGraw,
You are not forgotten.
Meraxes Madonna,
You are not forgotten.
Charles Maruki,
You are not forgotten.
Maureen Maruki,
You are not forgotten.
Kitty Monroe,
You are not forgotten.
Asher Morris,
You are not forgotten.
Alan Paragon,
You are not forgotten.
Janet Paragon,
You are not forgotten.
Jim Reed,
You are not forgotten.
Reverend John Rhodey,
You are not forgotten.
Reverend Faith Grover Scott,
You are not forgotten.
Marie Sedoti,
You are not forgotten.
Angie Spurgeon,
You are not forgotten.
Joan Starr,
You are not forgotten.
Arlene Salzberg,
You are not forgotten.
Teddy Thomas,
You are not forgotten.
Liara Kaylee Tsar,
You are not forgotten.
Sally Van Arsdale Bliss,
You are not forgotten.
Phoebe Audrey Wall,
You are not forgotten.
Sasha Williams,
You are not forgotten.
Janet Reed Withrell,
You are not forgotten.
Jerry Bordeaux,
You are not forgotten.
Aisha Manning,
You are not forgotten.
Felicia Fee Council,
You are not forgotten.
Alec Ojeda,
You are not forgotten.
Rukia Tricky Isaac,
You are not forgotten.
James Jackson Jr.,
You are not forgotten.
Christopher Romero Warren,
You are not forgotten.
Devin Barstow,
You are not forgotten.
Barksdale Senior,
You are not
forgotten.
Jaden Scott,
You are not forgotten.
Jeremy Prescott,
You are not forgotten.
Aaron Hurrow,
You are not forgotten.
Joseph de Ponso,
You are not forgotten.
Leroy Bethel,
You are not forgotten.
Hakeem Wagstaff,
You are not forgotten.
Shakwan Moore,
You are not forgotten.
Wahid,
You are not forgotten.
Shatina Joe,
You are not forgotten.
Timothy Chili,
You are not forgotten.
Jared Perry,
You are not forgotten.
Marquis Chambers,
You are not forgotten.
Jose Carvalho,
You are not forgotten.
Dave Trees the
You are not forgotten.
Ricky Elliott,
You are not forgotten.
Julius June,
You are not forgotten.
Davarcia Ford,
You are not forgotten.
Frank Rosario,
You are not forgotten.
you are not forgotten.
You are not forgotten.
You are not
We pause this morning in silence for just a bit longer. Holding the names, the many names, the ancestors, the nameless, the kin of choice, the many who gather with us. You are not forgotten. We mourn. We allow the heartbreak, the sorrow, the sadness, the sweetness of our memories to enter our hearts. We are here together, holding it all. You are not forgotten. Your grief is not forgotten. Whether a loved one died yesterday or 2 years ago or many, many years ago, your grief is my grief, is their grief. And though it looks different, we share in it this Sunday. We share in it most Sundays when we gather, whether your grief is so very visible, you wear it on your sleeve, or your grief remains mostly silent and hidden away. You are not forgotten. in the silence. We hold the preciousness of grieving alongside one another. We hold the pain and the joy of having loved and lost. We hold the overwhelm and the calm and the steady and the tears together. In the silence, you are not forgotten. Amen. Blessed be, may it be so. As we emerge from the shared silence together, as we emerge from our memories, let us join in our hymn of contemplation this morning, singing to the Spirit of life. Hymn number 123. This past month, a dear beloved of mine lent me the book, Keen, by Aaron Stralcup. It's a novel that explores what it would look like to really value the role of a keener in our context, in our time period, in this country. For those of you unfamiliar with the term, a keener is someone in the Irish tradition who is invited to funerals and wakes after someone has died to publicly cry, sob, and sing about the ways the deceased will be missed. It is a role people train for and apprentice for. I learned this past week taking vocal lessons and learning how to be present in the moment. This novel brings its main character, Maeve, towards celebrity status, where she is widely known on like the level of a pop star, sought after for all the funerals. In the book, she is called upon for memorial services for the Queen of England, for Anthony Bourdain, for the deaths of Black beloveds at the hands of police, for her own mother. And at each of these occasions, she sings out the lineage of the person who has died. She sings out about how they were gone too soon, or how we will miss them, or even how angry we are that they left us. And the singing is a part of the healing process. It is a way that she embodies what everyone is feeling. Song is how we get there. You are not forgotten. This morning, we sing out the lineage of this place. And though it may not be the exact same thing as keening, it is a way for us to hold, to process, and acknowledge our grief. A way to engage the heart that is not solely about the words or the head. We sing out the lineage of this community because each one of these people has touched our lives. Because our loved ones have helped to make us who we are. Because our loved ones have supported us in being here. Because our loved ones are a part of us. We sing out the lineage of Rochester. We include the people who have died due to gun violence. And we do this because each one of those people mattered here. And we cannot forget their names. You are not forgotten. Each person, a friend, a sibling, a parent, a lover, a child of someone who is living without them, present in their lives, in their days. In the list of names, we sing out the lineage of trans people in our country. In this list are transgender and gender nonconforming people who have died due to violence over the course of the past year as well. Most notable here is Honey Daniels, who died right here in Rochester, and whose memory lives on in the friends she had, the family she was a part of, the people whose hair and makeup she did, all right here in Rochester. You are not forgotten. It is our duty and our privilege here in this community to remember and to sing out the lineage. And if you are holding a name on your heart this morning of someone who has not yet been mentioned, I really want to invite you to grab a fall leaf or to type it into the chat if you're joining us online. You can draw a picture or include a phrase they would usually say, a thing you are missing about them. Fall leaves to symbolize the turning of the seasons. The way this time of year reminds us that the veil is thin, that death can be beautiful in the changing colors and the bright leaves on the ground all around us. Please do continue to share the names with this community. In a moment, all will be invited to come forward or to go towards the altar in the back of our sanctuary to tour our collective altars. To remember again that these people are not forgotten. Take a moment to read the names. Take a pause to gaze on the pictures and the mementos people brought. Drop your leaves there that we may know their names. Hold your memories alongside you. Let our tears and our laughter, our joyful memories and the more difficult ones, all commingle on our shared altars of memory this morning. Let us acknowledge that they are not forgotten. Please come forward or go to the back of the sanctuary to build and tour our shared altars this morning. we pause here for a moment in gratitude for the many lineages that have led us to this place, for the lives that have touched ours, for the ways these names and people and stories have made us who we are, for the ways they are present with us still. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. We will join one final time in singing out the lineage of this place with our hymn, our final hymn, number 336, All My Memories of Love. A hymn written by Mark Bellatini and a beautiful tune. So please rise in body or in spirit and let us join together. Please remain standing as we join in our chalice extinguishing words together. On the screen were printed in your order of service. We extinguish this flame, but we keep its light in our hearts with its message of love and justice, taking it outside these walls to the world we live in until we are together again. Dear ones, at the close of our service, I'll invite you to place a hand over your heart. Again, if you're joining us online, please turn on your camera and turn your view to gallery view. We can see you. We are here with you. It is good to be here. And take a moment, if you're here in the sanctuary, to look around you. Take a moment to look around at who is here with you. Dear ones, may we be reminded this Sunday that we are not alone. That my grief is your grief, is their grief is our grief. May we be reminded this morning of the memories, both the sadness, the joy, the beauty, the difficulty. And may we know through all of it that we know grief because we have loved. Let us continue to sing out the lineage of our lives and this place. That many have come here generation after generation to know that they themselves are loved. And so we are loved. You are loved. May you know that love and may you go and be that love to whomever you meet in the days, moments, weeks, hours, years ahead. Amen. Blessed be. May it be so.
And when October goes, the snow begins to fly above the smoky roofs. I watch the planes go by, the children running home beneath a twilight sky. Oh, for the fun of them when I was one of them, and when October goes, the same old dream appears, and I am in your arms to share the happy years. I turn my head away to hide the helpless tears. Oh, how I hate to see October go. And when October goes, the same old dream appears, and you are in my arms to share the happy years. I turn my head away to hide the helpless tears. Oh, how I hate to see October go. I should be over it now, I know. It doesn't matter much how old I grow. I hate to see